DNA
Is now your
is War
DNA
and
becomes a
Peace.
squirt gun, basically. Your
Inside my
DNA is a squirt gun.
DNA. How's that song even go, bro? I know you know all the lyrics to every rap song somehow.
I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. I don't even know that song, but then I was just like, oh yeah, okay, I know a little bit of
You
rap.
know it, bro. Deep down inside, bro. You tapped into the Akashic record
Yeah,
of
exactly, bro.
of,
Have
of
have the
knowledge.
access. And then it was kind of interesting too, them breaking down the pyramids and how the pyramids were not only energy because the river Nile flow underneath. There was the right side and left side of the pyramid that would then separate the hydrogen from the oxygen from the water. And then hydrogen, since it's the basis of all things in the universe, the first element on the periodic table, was able to convey like the information, like the hydrogen itself as an energy source. And then they say if we were to put certain EKGs on your head, we could see light leaving your head. We can't see all visible spectrums of light. So there's actually light that leaves your head when you think. And it's saying that there's energy that was leaving the pyramids and they were all pointed towards Orion
Yo, I seen something that was
and
talking
Sirius.
about how information can be held in DNA. The information can be put
That's
into
right.
DNA and can be taken
One
out of
drop.
DNA. And the amount of
Yes, can be
information that can
uploaded.
be held in the amount of DNA that's in a human body is exactly the age of the universe.
Yes, 13.5 billion years. They said that's how much information can be stored.
And
Worth of
that's wild.
information.
The amount of DNA in our body, in our body mass. You know what
So
I'm saying?
did you
There's a
listen to
lot
the
of
Billy Carson
DNA.
thing? That's
That just
exactly
shows the
yeah.
size and length and time of the universe.
The amount of DNA
And
you
then it's
have
weird that
can
it's exactly the
encode
mass of a
that
human
much.
body. Like, why not like an elephant? You know what I'm saying? Or a grasshopper. You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly a human body. Is there anything else that's that close to being the right mass for all being able to withhold, like, to be able to
And
contain all the
now the
information of the
next thing
universe?
is great. So you have the understanding of the expansive informational capacity of your DNA's fucking whatever information, right? So also with that same understanding is the electrical charge from each cell. The electrical charge from each cell fully harnessed is like trillions of volts. So you literally have the power of the sun. If you were to channel all of your atoms and access all of the energy inside of all your cells, you would literally have the power of the sun. They said that's how much
That's
energetic.
what Cyclops has, bro, in his eyes.
Yeah, bro. If
Is
you
the
could
power of the
literally
sun.
channel all of your, like through this meditation, feeling all your hair stand on edge, if you could channel that, you could literally. And then they were going on to saying, okay, so before the pyramids were activated by water flew underneath the pyramids, the Nile. You had the energy channels, and then it shot up to the center. And if you had those Tesla coil looking things, you could access wireless and energy. I'm like, get the fuck out
They
of
had
here.
Wi-Fi, bro.
And that
But their Wi-Fi
not
wasn't
just
just
Wi-Fi,
Wi-Fi.
but
Their Wi-Fi was energy.
wireless electricity.
See, but like
Yes,
if you
wireless.
told us about wireless energy before there was Wi-Fi, bro, it would be hard to grasp. But now there's Wi-Fi.
Right.
We understand that there's information that can be gathered from the internet that before you'd have to unplug your telephone and plug in another cord to the
And
wall.
radios. Radio explained things on frequencies too, like how is it going through the air? What the fuck do you mean information through the air? Well, radio signals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now, oh, not just radio signals. We're going to send fucking high powered information. It's a two-way radio now. And yeah. So then now it's wireless electricity. And they had this in ancient times.
Yo, what's
And
up,
then so they're
Miner? Good to
saying,
see you,
okay,
bro. How you doing, Miner? Did you update Mortal Kombat? You trying to run some Fortnite? Me and my brother are having some
crazy.
deep discussions here.
Yeah, man. So they're saying that the energy from the pyramid was powered by the Nile underneath, the way the aquifers and the way energy channels to harness the magnetic energy, because they were like diamond quartz or whatever that was all built out of in the limestone to harness the energy. Okay, great. So then they had wireless power. But what happened is over time, the position of the Nile was no longer going underneath the pyramid. So what happened was is now their power source was lost. So what do they do? If you go inside the king's chamber, there's the esophagus. What's that called? where
Esophagus?
somebody's buried in.
Sarcophagus?
Sarcophagus. There you go. Sarcophagus. Thank you, bro.
I was
There's
gonna
a
say esophagus
sarcophagus.
is in your throat, bro.
Yeah, esophagus, right? The sarcophagus that they say
It's
is
like
to
when
be
you're being
forgotten.
sarcastic about your esophagus. You're
Right,
being
the
sarcophagus,
sarcophagus,
bro.
sarcastic, your esophagus, right? So, so, but they're saying it's not a sarcophagus, it's not a coffin. Nobody can fit inside this. It's very small, and it's offset from the room. So they're saying it's as if it was put in afterwards. And then what they're saying is that where it is placed would have been perfect so far as if they lost a power source, this could have been where they could have charged it. And they said, when you look at the dimensions of the Ark of the Covenant, it fits perfectly into that slot. And what did you know about the Ark of the Covenant? It was like a nuclear reactor. If anybody touched it who wasn't a high priest, your hair would fall out, your eyes would bleed. It was a radiation
I didn't
belt.
know
So
all
that
that
there
about
was
the Ark and the
lead.
Covenant. I know I've seen that in Indiana Jones, but I didn't know that was fact.
Yeah, they're saying that literally, quite literally, that's what Moses would have. That's why they were chasing Moses when he left Egypt, because he took the Ark of the Covenant with him. And they're like, "Oh shit, that's our power source. Go get him." And
Mm.
I'm like, "Oh, that makes a lot more sense, bro." And that, like, if you go into the pyramids, I guess they let you go into them now. And if you go into them, there's different chambers, and in those different chambers, there's like people have claimed all kinds of different experiences because the energetic field, and it's saying there's so much mass there that you're inside of a time dilation, that they've actually taken atomic clocks inside and outside of the pyramid, and that there's so much mass, all those blocks, that it literally creates a time dilation from the inside to the outside of the pyramid. Not a lot, but it's measurable through atomic clocks.
You know, what's interesting about the pyramid also is that like not all pyramids are perfect, all right? But the pyramids like in Egypt, like the ones that are like the pyramids of Giza, I think that we're talking about right now, the one where the Sphinx is and everything, how it lines up with the stars. Like that pyramid is apparently like perfect for being able to fit in the center of the earth, like perfectly. If it was like 400 times or whatever it is,
The
larger.
pyramid of Giza is in the exact center of the continental mass.
And center, yeah, the center of the continental mass, but it's also the perfect size where if you were to enlarge it to scale, and the scale in which you enlarge it to or something is the multiple that is equal to the speed of light or something like that. It's a whole bunch of
Yeah,
weird
3.14.
mathematical anomalies. You know what I'm saying? When you're checking the measure, like what are you trying to say with the size of the way and the measures and the architecture of what you've created? What's the message within?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. So it was
if
a
it's
way
not,
for us
maybe it's
to,
not even just a message. Maybe there was a purpose to it. Like, but that's just interesting the way that everything just kind of
well,
all
it's saying it had
follows
literally
that
multiple
pattern.
purposes. So it was a way for us
Like it was a
to,
message and
go
there was a
into it.
utility to the reason that everything
Yes,
was structured that way.
right. There's a message that would never have been found until this age, this golden dawn, basically. Would nobody, they didn't
But
have the
what I'm
technology
saying
to
is, what
understand.
is the utility? That's what we're all trying to figure. You're saying it's to
The
send energy
utility
through
was a
the air.
power
It
plant.
was a power plant.
So basically, when they came to this planet, it was saying that, like,
So then that also means that
these
what it's saying of the
extraterrestrial.
universe is that the universe is a self-sustaining power plant or something to that effect. If everything's like representing the scale to the stars to the planet, like if that is a self-sustaining power plant, then does that mean the Earth itself is a self-sustaining power plant?
Correct. The Earth itself is a living being. It's not self-sustaining in the fact that it needs the sun. It's a dependent part of the whole, but
Mm-hmm.
it in itself, like, that's why, if you look at why are all the structures on the 33rd degree parallel, because the 33 degrees of 33 vertebrae in your spine and how your chakras are lined up along your spine. Why are all these sacred vortices? They always say, like, oh, there's these magnetic vortices. What are those symbolic of? Your chakras.
Right.
So the earth is literally Gaia. The earth is peopling. We are part of the being of the earth. So are the trees. So is everything. We're quite literally part of the earth, these bodies. And then our consciousness is also a part of that, but then it's also on a part of all the creator of all that is. Like Hare Krishna, we understand this, that we're part of Christ, right? And that, but that this individual aspect, that, like, we are a person peopling here, and then the earth is ducking and it's doing all kinds of creating all these animals, because like Terrence Howard was saying, once it reaches a certain pressure condition, just like you have encephalopods that like live underneath the water, the pressure is so great there, right? It's a different kind of pressure condition. Just like he's like saying, you could never go and live on Mercury or Venus because the pressure is so it's so such a tight pressure there would crush you. Just like he's saying, you couldn't go to Mars because the pressure is so it's such a low pressure condition, right? That's why Jupiter is like gas. It keeps going out more and more, right? It's a less and less pressure condition. And that the sun is literally creating the planets by these explosions of energy. And over time, to us, just like if we were watch grass, it looks like grass is never
I
growing,
thought
but
the
it
sun
is.
was the culmination of this galactic dust that was swirling, and it was like
Oh,
the first thing to sustain mass, and then have that like whatever thermonuclear reaction type thing occur, and then from there, that is what also helped to create a like more stable rotation for the rest of the clusters to then form mass upon themselves, and then create the planets. I don't know if the sun itself is ejecting planets from itself and then like now it's a new
yeah,
planet,
they're saying
but I think it's
it's the
helping to create a foundation gravitationally, whatever that means. You know what I'm saying? Like in the
well, that's the whole
universe,
thing, gravitation.
and then not even just
Gravity,
gravitational,
they're
bro, of the
saying,
sun, but the sun brings light, bro, and the light brings life. Like without that light of the sun, there would be no life. But also, if it
right,
burns
but
too
what
without
is
a
the
proper
sun? That's
atmosphere,
what Krishna
so it's
discusses.
like you need
So
the
the
light,
sun,
but you also need the covering from the light as well. You need like that atmosphere as well as to be able to receive the light. You know what I'm saying? To create a proper planet.
correct.
But isn't that sound something like biblical? It sounds like, you know, to receive the light of God, you need the atonement of the sacrifice of Christ. You know what I mean? And have that faith, to have that veil, to have that covering over you, be able to, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
you
Approach.
do like that's what I'm trying to say. Like when you understand the mystical significance of what you just said, it's absolutely biologically necessary that in order for you to receive the light of God, you have to accept the atonement of Christ. It's quite the res it says the atonement doesn't come from the crucifixion, the atonement comes from the resurrection, the fact that he lived. That is the atonement.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that God needs blood sacrifice. That's a whole nother kind of topic of discussion in a sense, but that the atonement comes from the resurrection and that
That's like Old
the
Testament
yeah,
stuff. And that we're just inadequate, you know, in being able to deliver that. And
and
it
that
caused
like
so
the
many.
true Yeshua was against this whole blood sacrifice thing. Was like you think imagine the Passover and they're slaughtering 250,000 lambs, bro. It's like a fucking
That's
bloodbath.
crazy. I
And
couldn't
he's like,
imagine
"What
that.
is this?"
I really couldn't
Yeah, I'm like,
imagine that kind of the way. It seems
but that's
wasteful as
literally it. The
well.
priests are covered in blood.
Seems
Like
horrible.
what in the fuck? And he just traveled to Tibet and Egypt and learned all this sacred mysteries. And he was even getting mad at the Brahmins, saying, "You guys are building idols, right? To worship the eternal God that resides inside of the people you're enslaving to build the idols." So the Brahmins were pissed off at him. He just went systematically telling everybody how they're not following their own teachings.
Yo,
And
what's
then he
up,
came
DeAndre
back towards
Ferguson? How
Islam.
you doing? Welcome in. Playing Pokemon and having deep discussions with my brother.
Yeah. So he went back to where he was from too and told them, "Hey, yo, you Pharisees, you guys are the fucking brood of serpents. Your father is Satan, basically. You guys stop people from going into meditation, and you yourself don't even enter into the house." So he was basically telling them, like, yeah, you guys don't even understand what you're doing. And they didn't like that. He was saying, I am that I am, and we all are that, and the temple is within you, and you don't need these people. These people are trying to cut you off from it, and then I'm here to, you know, throw down the veil, and the veil is also the arachnoid. The arachnoid is the connective membrane between your brain and your spine, the cerebral, and this whole thing is also a biological thing that's taking place, right? The solar plexus and the kundalini energy that raises from the base of the spine that then strikes the third eye that then activates this claustrum that then drips down the land of milk and honey. So it's all been encoded into what we've been like. So it's not to say that the teachings are wrong. The teachings are actually right, and that to accept the sacrifice, that like this person was so willing to go and tell everybody the truth that he was willing to risk his own life, whatever way you look at it. you want to look at it like, oh no, we didn't need a blood sacrifice. It doesn't matter. This guy was so fucking like persistent and didn't even care and knew that, like, you know what I know, and I know that there's going to be eternal forces that are going to protect me on this mission, that I'm going to willingly go up there. And I already knew, like,
That's what it
oh my
always ends up
God,
being. If you look back to the past, like I was watching a movie about Joan of Arc, and they were like, because she was saying stuff like, you know, about the war and about, like, you know, fighting for the people, and there was corruption and with politicians, and she was saying like she had a vision from God, right? And they were really scared because if it was true, they didn't want to like go against God. You know what I'm saying? So it carried a lot of weight back then to say that, you know, you had a message from God. Like people didn't want to mess with that. They wanted to make sure, like, if that was true, that that was honored, and that if not, that it was like a huge bad thing
valid?
too. You could be a heretic or whatever, blaspheming or whatever. So it like carried a lot to say something like that. Like things meant more. Like, bro, do you even remember like back when we were kids? Like there's just a lot of things that were more taboo than they are now. Like basically everything, bro. You know what I mean? It was more taboo.
Yeah.
You know, now it's more okay. And you know what? I'm okay with it being more okay now because I'm here too. I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm
I'm more mature. I'm
right.
more mature.
But that's how it's always been throughout the history of the development. You know, things are becoming more okay, but it's also a slippery slope because you still need some restraint. You still need to have some discipline and
like, if I
self-control.
was to talk this stuff back in the day, it would get me killed, my whole family killed. Like, you could not be talking this.
Well, the whole foundation of America was partially from religious freedom and tax freedom from taxes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was like a big one half of the other, and you know now we don't care about either.
Because it's based on Masonic values, bro. In the Freemasonic Lodge, they have the Bhagavad Gita, they have the Quran, they have the Lotus Sutras, they have the Bible, and they have the Torah. Why do they have all 5 of these books? Because they're showing you, like, bro, it's the truth.
Trying to have respect for all the different philosophies.
No, not just respect, but they're like, hey, quite literally, this is like different levels of education in a sense of like middle school, high school, you got university, college. Doesn't make one better than the other, just makes one more.
You get different, you get a better
understanding.
perspective of the world. You can see where other people are coming from, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's like just because you like, and this is really kind of crude to put it this way, but it's just like because you like Star Wars doesn't mean you can't like Star Trek or something like that. You know what I mean?
Correct.
You can appreciate,
Correct.
you know what I'm saying?
Just because you like rap music doesn't mean you can't like country music.
Post Malone, bro.
But for a long time, that's how it was.
I'm saying. But you know what? It's close, man. Rap and country are right on. They're on a border, right? And it's a dividing line. But you know what? With that being said, that dividing line means you're close. You're close. People got to realize that the things that divide us also represent that we are right next to each other. We're doing it all together, right next to each other,
bro. Jesus isn't all of the. He's literally even in Buddhism now. The more, like, I understand, the Buddha Siddhartha Gautama talked about there would be a child-born Messiah that would be known as the Son of Love. So the prediction about the coming of Yeshua and him being an avatar and him being somebody that would instill this brotherly love was actually in Buddhism. And that he went and learned all this stuff and came and taught.
That's the one common thing throughout all the different religions, philosophy. They all acknowledge Christ, every one of them.
Yeshua, yeah, they acknowledge that. So that's what I'm trying to tell you here when you're talking about Joan of Arc. Is the fact of channeling God an actual valid thing? Can we see this psychologically? And what is the actual like evidence for this? And we can see in states of hypnotism that if I was to say you are now a rooster, and if I was a good hypnotist, you would be a rooster until I fucking broke you out of my spell.
That's scary, bro. I don't like hypnotisms. I don't like
Think
all
about
that
it
stuff.
though, but similarly,
Makes me uncomfortable.
Okay, they can put you under states of regressive therapy where you'll remember things you don't remember right now. If I was to ask you about your childhood or things consciously, you won't remember. But if I put you into states of hypnosis, you will remember these things. Why? Because there's a super conscious mind that you're a part of, and that's where the real trauma lies.
That's what they talk about in Scientology, bro. That they say that you are having trauma from past lives, and you have to reenact them, and they help you remember them.
From this
they help you remember them, but it's really just low key acting. it's like practicing acting. You're
No, this is
pretending
not acting.
that
No,
this
no.
happened with another stranger and
I'm
you're
not
paying
talking
money
about
for
any
this
of that.
acting
No, no, no.
scenario kind of thing a little
I'm
bit.
saying quite literally, if you go to regressive hypnotic therapy, we can ask you things about your childhood when our parents broke up or things that happened and that you're not even aware of are causing you problems right now. That if we put you in hypnosis, that you would tell the I'm not the therapist on the shit, you feel me? But like these are fields of science that have developed from Sigmund Freud and like that guy Edgar Casey, and that have proven the existence of a super conscious that like we all have access to if we tap into it, right? But if we don't tap into it, we don't get access to it, basically, right? So we're either like we're either included or excluded, depending on our devotion towards the realization that there is a super conscious mind, that we do have access to like infinite wisdom within ourselves through our psyche, through the temple, right? Which is quite literally in your brain, right? The temple. And we have access to this according to our vibrational resonance. So if you're resonating on this God frequency, Hare Krishna, that you're quite literally going to
Praise
have
and worship,
access
like
to
everybody likes to, no, not
exactly.
everybody says Hare Krishna, but people will,
Right, right.
praise and worship. You know what I mean?
Hallelujah, Hosanna, Hosanna, and that feeling of devotion and gratitude will then bring on this like light wave orgasms where your hair will stand on edge, and you'll experience these states of bliss, right? And it's also healing your body because what your DNA is doing in that state of bliss is actually tightening. And when it's tightening, it's squirting. When it's squirting, it's sending and receiving information. Like you're talking about, your DNA can, and well, what is it doing right now inside of you? It's doing the same thing. Well, what are you putting it in contact with, right? So just think like compared to the stuff that we experience as
That's why
kids
we
to
gotta watch what
compared to
we
like
eat, man. A
how
lot of
much,
times we don't really even think about what we put in our body. We just eat
oh
whatever,
yeah,
man. And
because
I'm
think
really
about the
guilty of that.
mitochondria.
I'll eat
Think about your
whatever, man. But I
mitochondria
really gotta
and
try to
your
diet. You know what I mean? Ultimately,
what are
because
else some parts of your
we're
body,
not
some
gonna live forever.
microbes.
If you eat whatever you want, you gotta have discipline in all things. And I can't just not be
Well, that's
disciplined.
because there's different systems. So it's realizing that everything is alive, like everything around you. So just to give a good example, he's like, there's this person, came onto the sports field and they were just whooping up on everybody. But at the end of the practice, the one coach seen the person dragging their bag across the ground and says, nope, I don't want them on my team. I said, why? He's such a great player. It says, but he doesn't respect the bag. You see, I don't want them to treat our
He
equipment
doesn't
that
respect the
way.
bag. That sounds some hood. That sounds some hood stuff right there, bro. You gotta respect the
But if
bag,
you're not
bro. It's like you gotta
if
respect
you're
the
not
money.
respecting, yeah, if you're not having a reverence. So the guy says he went to a Buddhist temple, the Billy Carson, and he says when he met the guy was like, he's sweeping the floor, but the floor is already clean. He says, what are you doing? And he's like, we clean to perfection, right? We don't, we try to make a reverence for everything we do has a reverence to it. Even cleaning, tying our shoes, everything we do is in a state of reverence, in a state of remembrance, in a state of acknowledgement of the divine in all things. And he's like, that's a whole nother level of like, bro, the thing's already clean, and here they are still doing it to perfection. Because it's the process that's perfect, but just at the, yeah, the level in which you can give reverence to things, the level to which you can acknowledge the sacredness in all
Yeah, you gotta
things.
care, basically. Ultimately, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
care. If you
Your
don't
intention,
care, it
your
don't
intent.
matter. I always jokingly say,
But
like,
like
nobody cares. No, that's the most
how
important
deep
thing
can
is the
you
ability to care. That you can
cultivate
put
that?
your
How can
focus and
you
attention on one thing. Like everybody's like, how do you make a Kamehameha? Right? Well, the first thing is you have to care. You have to be able to focus your energy into your hands, into a little ball until it becomes hot and send it out. But no, no, no. It's not just that. First, you have to care.
well,
Because if you don't care, you're not focusing anything nowhere. Because you don't know how to care.
okay. Okay.
That's why Saiyans were so powerful because they had the strength, and Goku especially. But he cared. He was also innocent. He also had that. He had that balance between rage and compassion.
Close the fucking door. God. Okay, I'll
Where he
talk
was like
whatever I
really mad
want. It's
and
up to
cared, but
you.
also was really loving and cared at the same time. On Super
Listen,
Saiyan.
Krishna's name is Goku.
Goku
The
means
place where they
hero,
live is
bro.
Gokula.
Goku
And the
just means hero or
Saiyans were the
something in
ones that
Japanese. It's probably a cognate or something because they're all Asian,
I'm saying the planet,
regionally.
the name of where Vrindavan is known as in Vedic text and Sanskrit is known as Gokula. Goku.
Mm,
Goku is a name of Krishna.
interesting, bro.
I'm like,
Interesting.
yeah, yeah, and that yeah. Well, the Saiyan, okay, the Saiyans. I read this back in the World Religions book. Dana had the textbook he was taking for mom for her courses or whatever, and it's talking about Jediism. The Force is all around you, the electromagnetic force, and okay, but we'll get back to, and then Yoda versus Darth Vader. How like one is power and one is love, and the symbolic representation of that. But okay, the Saiyans. So the Saiyans were the ones had surpassed the speed of light and then sustained it. So that was the Saiyans. They had reached
Are
a
you
level
talking
of
about Akira
immortality.
Toriyama's manga, or are you talking about something else you read?
I'm talking about in the World Religions textbook when they started talking about Saiyans, and the
Okay.
Saiyans were the beings that had surpassed the speed of light and then sustained it in this superluminal wormhole of
That
this
sounds like going
form,
Super
right?
Saiyan, bro. It's
Pretty
almost like
much,
Akira
right? Because
Toriyama's
you
trying
are
to
a
like tell us something.
yeah,
Yo,
yeah,
Prohiba
but you
Gamer,
are
what's up,
going
brother? How
there.
you doing? I'm doing good, man. I'm just having some deep discussions with my brother right now while playing Pokemon. We're talking about
Dude, I've been talking to him,
Goku,
and
the
for
name
the
of
last
Goku,
10 minutes,
and Saiyans.
you just keep shushing me, and then you're like, "Oh, why are you getting frustrated with me?" Well, because I've been having a
Oh, Annabelle
conversation for
wants.
10 minutes, and every 10 seconds you keep shushing me, and I have to just constantly ignore you. So when
Oh,
then you get up and
be
you're like,
nice to
"Why?"
Annabelle. Talking
I
loudly.
know I don't want to wake him up either.
Just don't realize how loud you're being sometimes.
You're probably right.
It's not what you're saying, it's just how loud you are.
I'm sorry if I seem frustrated at you if you because you're
All right. Anyway, what were you saying, Tom, about the
criticizing
Saiyans
me.
being superluminal light? Tell us again, bro. What were you saying about that?
The Saiyans are the beings that reached immortality through being able to surpass the speed of light and then sustain it. So that is like the Merkaba. So you are a being of light in this idea of your chakras, right? But then to like go stay in to fully activate your chakras and then to sustain that as a being that's reached immortality, because then now you remember all your past lives, you remember your immortal nature, right? And then you are sustaining that, and then through that you can actually like if you look at those fucking yogis and the people in Tibet, bro, they can like blow out fire. And the one guy, the Dynamo Jank that lights the paper on fire with his chi, like that shit's for real, right? So just imagine, the idea that there could be beings that could
Well, and
fucking
then we've
blow
seen those
holes in
videos about
something. And
aerokinesis, about people moving the wind, and then I was talking about how like I
yeah,
called a storm forth the other day by accident by trying to make the wind blow, and then they always used to say about like rain dancing. Remember rain dancing back in the native, like
right,
for the native times.
right,
That seems
yeah,
like not
that's
so
right,
wild to think about. People might have been able
correct.
to dance, and make the rain come.
Now it's saying too, if we were to have these conversations
Yeah,
10,
come
15
in.
years ago,
Yes. No. 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 I don't know. I'm talking to Tom. I'm
mom
streaming.
was in there.
Mom came in. She said she smells the ganja. But I'm not
Oh
smoking. I don't
yeah.
have no weed nowhere. So coast is clear. Wasn't me. Not this
Lies,
time.
all lies. Ah, wink, wink. It's hilarious.
Never would do
That's
such a
great
thing.
though, bro. That's great. I love it. Mom's in there yelling at you.
Yo, my buddy Probiha Gamer said, "Brother is of God knowledge." Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. Probiha Gaming. That's exactly what we're talking about.
That's what I spend my day doing. I'm a landscaper right now, so I'm planting trees, so it's kind of cool. I get to like be bowing down in people's yards. Any other circumstance would be just weird, like
Yeah.
laying sod, planting trees,
We used to lay sod with our
and
uncle.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I know how to lay sod. So we did that a bit, and then been planting a lot of trees and doing the mulch. And then in my own house, I was planting some trees and doing some landscaping. So then I got the call to do this. I'm like, yeah, perfect. It's through the union. It's all good money. But then on my you know, whenever I have the ability to, I'm listening to music, but then for the most part, I've been listening to like a course on miracles. It's like a freaking, I don't even know, 8 hours for like chapters 1 through 6, and then another 8 hours for the next. And it's very like, bro, if you wanna
So what
put together
constitutes a
kind of,
miracle? You know, to
you
be a
gotta
saint,
listen
you have to
to
perform 2 miracles to be considered
a
a
course
sainted.
on miracles, bro.
Like, what
Listen
is
to
this course on
that and
miracles
you'll
though?
be
Does it
like,
teach you how to perform a miracle, or does it teach you how to identify a miracle, or like what's going on? Like, what am I getting if I take this course on
all of
miracles?
the above. It teaches you how to share in the sonship. Teaches you how to share in the sonship, bro, and what that really means, and then how from that you perform the miracles. How from fully releasing the ego and embracing the dependence that we actually are dependent on God, and embracing the sonship with Christ, and to then understand what is our abilities. Like, I'm not even finished with it yet, bro, but it's like very, very deep, so far as the psyche and explaining why we're thinking the way we're thinking, and how to like even prepare yourself to be able to do miracles. Basically, you have to first like have the proper intention, right, like we were talking about before. Like, you have a proper kind of like orientation. Right now, once you're oriented, now we can start performing this. And yeah, it's very, very informative so far as it's speaking from the perspective of Christ, like the Christ consciousness, and about how what Christ came to do, and how we can fully embrace this, and how there is no such thing really as time other than our perspective of it, and that there is no like between like when we are saved and right now, like we've always been saved, and that we just have to understand that. We have to just recognize that no one is actually lost. You know what I mean? That it's just it's our thinking that we are lost has caused us to be lost. Our thinking of the separation has created the separation, but there actually is no separation, and that is the truth. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Quantumly, you know. But that, and then so like, oh, bro, Course on Miracles. I've listened to the first part like over again, because sometimes I'm working and I didn't really hear a part, and I'm like, ah, fuck it, I'll just re-listen to it. I've been listening to that, and then Know Thyself podcast. He's got a lot of cool people in there.
You know, Probia Gamer says, which is my best card? My best card is Charizard EX. And then Probia Gamer says, Ultra Instinct equals Miracle of Angel. When Goku goes Ultra Instinct, it's a miracle. It kind of is,
Oh
because
yeah,
remember, Goku gets
it's
vaporized. I don't know if it's the same in the manga, but
and
he
that's the
he
angelic
he gets
energy, right?
exploded. He's dead. He gets vaporized. But I think he gets vaporized
Yeah.
by his own spirit bomb, because Jiren isn't bad. That's why, because he throws the spirit bomb at Jiren, but Jiren isn't a bad guy. He's a good guy who's trained really hard. Goku supposedly is the bad guy for stirring up the crap for this tournament. You know what I'm saying? Interestingly enough, so he hits Goku with the spirit bomb, but Goku is also not bad. So how does he get exploded by the spirit bomb? Yet it does. Yet it does. It blows Goku up, and then he comes back Ultra Instinct. What's that about? How come everybody just overlooked that? Yeah, okay, it didn't hit Jiren. That's interesting, but why did it hit Goku? And what did it take out of him when it hit him? Maybe the last bit of part of him that wasn't perfectly angelic, and then when he came back, it was.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Whoa. That totally makes sense, actually, bro.
I think we're
That
onto
actually
something with
makes
that.
sense, especially if Ultra Instinct is angelic energy and he gets hit with a spirit bomb in order to do that, and it
Right.
only hits people who are bad.
His
And
own
if it hit
spirit
him
bomb
and
now from the
destroyed,
energy that was given from everybody. And it's interesting, all the Saiyans, they've needed everyone around them to level up. They have to
gather all
train
your
with everyone
energy,
around them.
right?
They even befriend their enemies to train to power themselves up. But then also to
Because
go
it's
Super
the
Saiyan God, they
dependence,
needed to
bro.
hold hands with 6 other Saiyans. You know what
One
I'm saying?
twig is weak, a bundle of twigs are strong. We need each other. That's the next coming of Christ, bro. When we all wake up to that divinity within us, and we stop letting whoever these little kids are that are running the show, these 100 families that run the world, like say like, yo, you guys can't do this anymore. Sorry, we're woke up now. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Because there's enough of us now that have woken up. And that's all that it's going to take, because like exactly like that, gather all your energy. You just need one Goku. You need a couple Saiya fighters. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't take a lot to really do a change. Like who we got? Billy Carson. We got Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson. Like let's name off a couple of good ones. Duncan Trussell, Lex Friedman. Like I can name a handful of people. You know, it's not like a million, and those people are really changing the way people are viewing reality on this planet right now. You know what I mean? Like, so just imagine, like, you now become a node of that. Now you're talking to people that maybe not don't see those things, but they're seeing you, and then you're affecting their consciousness. So everything is being affected behind the scene. So it's like, don't worry, because God's got everything covered. Don't worry at all. God didn't tell you to sit here and worry. Merrily, 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 merrily. Keep the merrily, merrily, merrily. Life is but a dream. And don't be freaking out and stressing out and flipping out, but have trust and faith, but then act in accordance. So the Kabbalists say nothing exists but the Creator. And then as they go on in their day, they say, but if I am not for me, then who is for me? So then they act in the sense as if there is no Creator, that it's just them here. And then at the end of the day, they reflect and say, there is nothing but the Creator, right? So that's the idea of like, even though it's all, you are a vessel of that as well. So if you don't act in response, the whole is only a sum of its parts. So yes, nothing is but the Creator. But if I don't act in accordance with that, then I'm acting in disharmony with God's plan, which isn't even possible, actually. So that's the whole thing of this, is like to think like, oh no, this person has messed up or that person has messed up. It's actually not even possible.
Hmm.
It's not even actually possible to mess up. So forgive everybody, because nobody has even actually messed up. It's not even possible to mess up because it's all part of the plan. Now the next part is to,
That's like
now
the
that we're
destiny.
forgiven, because no,
That's like the difference between fate and destiny. So it's like, do I
yeah,
have it to do everything right to achieve my destiny, or is it just gonna happen anyway? You know what I mean?
both, both. It's actually both. It's that like
That's what
here
I
is
feel like the
where
difference is
you're
between
headed.
fate and destiny. On one hand, destiny, you have to achieve it. You got to put an effort to achieve your destiny.
It's
Whereas
like a
fate,
ball falling. The
I
ball
don't
is
like
gonna hit the
fate, man.
ground.
I don't think I like the idea of fate as much as I like the idea of destiny. But at the same time, it's a little scary because then you can also not achieve it.
Um, yes, exactly. Your destiny, you have your choice, and are you going to accept your destiny? But your fate is going to happen. It's like one's objective and one's subjective. One is happening to you, and one you are happening to. One you are doing, and one is being done to you. Your fate is being done to you. Your destiny, you are doing to it. So you have the ability to choose your destiny. You have the ability to choose how you respond. But then ultimately, on higher levels, and there's a different podcast where the guy talks about this, that like you're not even actually choosing anything, like your destiny or whatever, like because your destiny is conditioned by the family you grew up in, and the your culture. All these things are, so you don't have free will, basically, is what it comes down to, until you become fully enlightened, basically. Because until you become fully enlightened, your destiny, what is your destiny? That you grew up in this area and that your father was a farmer, and now you're destined to be a farmer because that's your culture. And so you don't actually have a choice over your destiny. It was a very interesting idea this one guy was presenting
It's
on
like
one
the
of these
idea of a
podcasts, and I
caste
was like,
system, I guess, is the idea between fate and destiny. If there's a caste system, the society may think of as fate because you're from this type of family, you're fated to have this type of a life. Whereas with the new world type of idea, we're in the West here, we have democracy where you can do better than your forefathers. I feel like that is more of of a philosophy of destiny.
so what does it run it by me again?
Well, let me read these comments in the chat. Probia Gamer says Goku already used Ultra Instinct in Super Saiyan 3 when he was fighting Beerus. And Probia says, so it means Goku has angel potential since he was born because he was always using hidden potential of himself. Well, since he was born, right? He was a little special
So
since he was
Goku's
born.
like an avatar, basically.
But
He's
yo,
like an avatar.
Goku's dad, what was his name? Bardock, made a wish to the Eternal Dragon to just look out for his son. Like, that's pretty
Look at
powerful.
that, the Eternal Dragon too. Look, or call back to like the Kundalini, the dragon.
You know what I'm saying? He made a wish to the Eternal Dragon. Was like, make sure Goku's good. You know what I'm saying? You don't just make a wish like, you know, the Eternal Dragon gives people immortality. He resurrects entire planets. You ask the Eternal Dragon, make sure somebody's good. You're getting a little extra, little sprinkle of blessing from that, you know, for sure.
Right. And that's the acceptance of like Christ as the Messiah, or, you know, from all religions, they can accept this because like he is an avatar, like just like Goku. Like Goku, he's Goku. He's just another one of the guys. But like clearly by what he is performing and the things he's doing, he's not just a regular person. You know what I'm saying? He's like special. He's Goku. He's the last Saiyan or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that they pump him up, and that the way that he then fulfills these things, and the way it seems like he's going to lose, and the hero story is like he is symbolically the avatar, right? Like he's the best. Nobody can beat Goku. Who's going to beat Goku? Superman versus Goku. Why? Because Superman is also another representation of the avatar, right? So which avatar is going to be which avatar? And they're both. That's basically what we're doing with religion. Like which form of God's going to beat the other form of God? They're all forms of God, guys. I'm confused here. As long as we're not talking about like, murdering of the innocent and enjoyment of sensory pleasure for that being the ends, that's a different God. That's more of a satanic force, right? But if we're talking about something that's love and eternal and consciousness and oneness and compassion and strength through perseverance, that's all the same person there too, right? We have have two distinctive things, so we can say like, oh yeah, this guy, these people are representations of the good guy, and these people are representations of the bad guy. And then in that, the bad guy is still good because he gives the hero the catalyst to be the hero. If there's no adversary, there's no hero, right? So it's saying even those who take the dark side of the force after they ascend to the third, the fourth, the fifth, once you get to like the sixth dimensional plane, they can no longer, like, because in the sixth dimension, now you have to serve somebody. So once you reach the sixth dimensional plane, it's saying you become a spirit guide for all your past incarnations. So then you very deep, like it's the Know Thyself podcast. Aaron Abke goes in and talks about that. But like even on the negative side of that, once you get to a certain level of the negative, you can no longer go any further unless you turn back on yourself and become good. You cannot continue to ascend past the sixth dimension because it's all about selfless service at a certain point, right? So,
But you know how I remember how I said that I thought the fourth dimension was time? I don't think that's correct anymore. And the proof against it is because time exists in first and second dimension also.
you are the fourth. The observer is the fourth dimension.
I don't know. I think the fourth dimension is like a shape, basically. So you got to look at all the dimensions are a shape, right? First dimension is a line. Second dimension is a square. Third dimension is a cube. The fourth dimension is basically a cube that has like cubes around it. You know what I'm saying? Did that make sense? It has a cube on all sides of the cube, and then you can see through all the things at once.
That's
so you don't.
Yeah, but what the fuck is that?
I don't know, bro. I think that's life.
You looking
something.
at the three-dimensional object is the fourth dimensional object.
Yo, we got Fat Man in the chat, bro. We got Luke. We got Luke in the chat right now, bro.
The fifth dimension is your thoughts. So you looking at the thing is the fourth dimension. You thinking about it is the fifth dimension. Like that voice inside your head that reads stuff quietly to itself, that's the fifth dimension. Like if I tell you close your eyes and think about when we were kids, what eyes can see the past? That's the fifth dimension. What eyes can see the future? What visualize tomorrow? What eyes can see the future? That's God. That's a part of you that is divine, right? Inside of you, that's the fifth dimension. That part of you that is aware within yourself. Like what voice spoke and what ears heard and what vibration actually persisted. So, but either of those interactions took place. What is that? That's the fifth dimension. So the fourth dimension they're saying is you observing the third dimension is the fourth, and then the fifth dimension is you internally, that internal dialogue, the internal you is the one that's observing you observing. The thing that's observing you observing the third dimension.
Yes, interesting, bro.
Wow,
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
That seemed a lot
That's
more
being able to
complicated
look
before I
into
had
the
this
cube
conversation.
from outside cubes, but also it's still not a shape, but it's a shape we can't understand. So maybe that's a thought pattern. Maybe that's what a thought
Exactly.
pattern looks like, is that shape. That's interesting, bro.
Correct. Is that maybe that's what
Mind
we
blown.
would look like if we were to look at ourselves looking at the third dimension, would look like a cube inside of a cube. For representational,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? We are the thing looking at the thing inside the thing. And then the fifth dimension would be some kind of fucking calamity because it'd be a cube inside of a cube inside of a cube.
Exactly, man.
What's this?
Exactly.
You know?
Who knows?
Wow. Thanks for that. I didn't have that.
Yo, Probia
type
Gamer
of-
says, read my upper two comments. Because he went past and become the first Super Saiyan ever born, so he's the first Saiyan who breaks his limits like father, like son. Yeah, because Bardock became the first Saiyan, didn't he? Wasn't Bardock for Super Saiyan first? But he got wiped out too fast. Nobody really knew. Only when Goku looks back into the past could he see. I want to say something like that.
So wait, they weren't all Saiyans? What were the name of the race of people?
So Bardock went Super Saiyan before Goku. Basically, what I'm saying.
What was the name of their race? They were Namekians?
The Namekians were Namekians, bro. What do you mean? Was the race of the Namekians? They're the Namekians.
No, I'm saying like Goku and like Krillin and all them.
Krillin was an
were not from the same
Earthling. Goku
planet.
was a Saiyan.
But Krillin became a Saiyan too.
Krillin did not become a Saiyan, bro. You can't become a Saiyan. It's like Kryptonian. Like Superman's from a whole nother planet, same difference.
But Krillin was able to, what did he was able to access his chi or
No,
what?
he never became a Super Saiyan, bro. Krillin did not.
He could fly.
He could fly, but because he trained with Master Yoshi, and he trained in the Crane School or the
So he
Turtle
activated,
School,
like, his
and before
yogic
that, he was a
abilities.
monk, bro. He was a monk.
Oh,
He was literally like an orphan monk or something with no family or something like that, bro. And then Goku
you're right,
went through.
bro. Krillin was a monk.
Right, and Goku went
He
through
was a naughty
tournamenting.
monk.
I think he fought Krillin or something. They became friends. They
He was
trained
like the
together.
dirty Buddhist.
And then there's like the enemy monk school was the Crane School, which was Tien. So it was like Krillin and Tien were enemies at the beginning, bro. And
Oh my god, bro.
yeah, bro, don't
It's always
forget,
like,
bro.
oh,
Never
who are
forget that
these
again.
guys?
Never ever.
Oh
forget.
wow, that's why they're so significant. They were monks. Yeah,
They were
you're right.
monks, bro. Krillin and Tien were monks. They're not just bald for no reason. They're monking it up.
But you're saying Bardock was the first Saiyan, so he was but what was his race?
If they're mine, you can have them. I don't know what it is. For me to guess the answer to that question, my mom calls from somewhere in the house. She says, "Are these yours or mine?" And so I say, "If they're mine, you could have them." So now they're yours, if you want it. If there's any dispute, I will pass to you.
I'll resend.
Bro, I'm
Yeah.
about to beat. This deck has been beating me all game, Tom. This whole game, this deck has been beating me. It has one prize card, but I'm about to beat it right at the end. Oh wait, no, I'm
Oh
not.
man.
No, I'm not, bro. I don't think
Oh
I'm gonna.
man.
Never mind. I thought I was, but then I realized, nope, I'm not gonna. I was so excited for a second. I'm like, yay, I'm gonna win. And then I'm like, oh wait, no,
No, I'm gonna lose.
no, I'm gonna give up.
Oh shit, dog. So how's grandma and grandpa? How's
They're
everybody doing?
good. They're good. They got a new trailer, like a summer place. They
Really?
went set up, and they're bringing the trailer down there. Something
Something for the
doing some
campground
summer weekends, campground, yeah, kind of deal.
behind Ashley's?
No. Somewhere else they went.
Oh,
Bro, I gotta get to bed though. I gotta be up at 4 a.m. That's
yeah, I gotta get up pretty early too.
gonna be it for me for
Not
the
that
night. Good talking with you,
All right,
brother.
bro.
Much
Hey,
love,
good talking
man.
with you too, man. Much love, brother. Love you, dog.
Love you too,
Yeah,
bro. I'll
we'll
hit you
touch
up
you, love
tomorrow.
you too.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll chat some more,
Okay.
bro. Download or update Fortnite or something or Call of Duty so we can do some gaming. You owe it to yourself, bro.
I do. I haven't gamed in a while.
Dang.
download Fortnite or Call of Duty, George is saying, and play with them tomorrow.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I could do that.
Party time, bro.
Do for some gaming. Dust the fucking controller off.
Oh, mom wants to bother me. So come in, mom. Still 17 again. Yeah, you can come in. Want to come hang out? Come hang out. Hold on, mom wants to come in at the end of the stream. Batman says, "Come on, bro. We didn't stay up all damn nights TCG and for you two to take L's." Aw, I gotta.
Why
get
you
to bed.
got a palm up there?
I don't even know. That might be a ghost palm print on the wall. Or maybe when I was pushing something up, I had a dirty hand from doing mechanical
Mama.
things. You guys want to see my mom? Come scoot in, mom. Yeah, sit down. Well, my mom have the chair. This is my mother, and then there's Tom. You can see him if he goes on the camera.
Hey, Tommy.
Yeah, like this,
Hello.
green screen.
Hi.
And then Luke's here too, watching.
Hi, Luke. Hi, Tommy.
He's the fat man.
How's Tom Alley doing? Is he doing good?
He went to the,
How's
yeah, he went to
Fernell?
the dentist.
I love all you people. You give good support to my
Mama.
children. I'm very happy and proud of all of you.
Thank you.
I love
Yeah.
everybody that's watching. God bless you and
That's
your
beautiful.
families. And I think you're wonderful. And doing this keeps you
Aw.
guys out of trouble, and I'm really happy about that.
Oh.
You know?
Gang violence.
Oh, yeah.
Gang violence. We outside.
you know,
Gang
but
violence.
I'm really happy.
Yo, fat man.
You know.
Luke says hi, mom, and then
Hi.
Probia Gamer says hello, mother. So
Hi.
beautiful.
Oh, you
Hey.
guys are so beautiful
Hands
too.
off my mama.
To each and every one of you, I give you guys hugs and kisses.
Oh, the dog wants some kiss. Everybody's loving on my mama.
Oh.
Yo, my mom has a tattoo that says "Gat Warrior."
Yes,
She represents.
because I love all my
Let's go.
children equally, very, very
Amen.
much. You know, for my kids' initials. You know, I'm not gonna say their names, but it's
Yeah,
Gat
George,
Warrior.
Andrew, Tom. That's
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Gat.
Yeah, and I love all my kids very, very much.
Mother Maria.
And I wish they can all be in the same room at the same time, and I can give them all group hugs and kisses, and their wives, Annabelle and Audrey, they're fantastic women, and my grandchild, Fernell and Tomel, they're wonderful. I am blessed to have such wonderful people around in my lives, you know, so I'm grateful.
Heaven, yeah.
God has given me good
You're sending
and
prayers out
healthy
into the
kids,
ether.
and- yeah, they're good. They're good.
All right, mom.
Okay.
My mom's having a confessional right now.
No,
Bless the
confessional
stream.
would be the
Bless
the
bad things I
confessional.
did in my life,
Yeah.
which I ran away when I was 21 from
All
Toronto
right, guys. I'll be
right
back
to
in an hour.
Florida.
I'm gonna let mom take over the stream. What did you do? What did you do? Tell the story. Oh, you ran away. What did you do?
Yeah, I took my parents' car, and their father took their mother's credit card, and we ran from Toronto to Florida, Clearwater, and we were going to elope without their blessing, and they didn't like each other very much.
Oh, what? That's like when I told you I was going to Chicago and I borrowed $200, but I didn't go Chicago, and I just like partied over the
Yeah.
weekend and stayed out.
Yeah, but that was my confessional when I was 21. But I'll tell you something. Listen to your parents. Your mother is always right, because their father was a bad man, and my mother knew it from the get-go.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
So now we're getting into it. Mom, have you been drinking?
No. I've been playing my video games too. It's called shooting the little balls
Oh,
and
yeah,
trying to
mom's
get.
been gaming.
Yeah, I've been gaming, winning 30 cents. I gamble 10 cents, 30 cents.
Hey, whatever.
It's different from the $15,000 or $16,000 I gambled 2-3 years ago.
Yo, Pro Game. You didn't see he was on the screen the whole time? He's been on the screen the whole time.
Hello, Mother Maria.
We can just get a picture.
Hi.
Every day I want to call you, but it's always too late. I want to talk
Yeah, I know.
They're sleeping. Go wake them up. Yo, Fat Man says Bubble Blast is SRS.
Bubble Blast, that's what I play.
Yo, let's go.
That's exactly what I play. And I won 10 cents, 30 cents.
Yo, Probia says, dream a mother you got there, buddy. Thanks, Probia. Fat Man says, you guys are so blessed to have one another. Well, thank you, Fat Man. Appreciate you, Luke.
Oh, God, that's so awesome. I can see you.
It's like, oh, I can still have
That's
I can
cool.
see you.
Well, let me go fold up some laundry. I've been putting stuff
Okay,
in the
Mama.
dryer. Oh my gosh. That's beautiful.
Oh, there's one of
So you heard everything I said.
Or what?
Oh,
Maybe
that's
playing her game
beautiful.
like
You're
1
so
10 cents,
beautiful. Oh,
You say I'm beautiful.
okay.
I can't hear
I
you.
love you guys.
Oh, okay.
We keep on folding. I love you all so much. I'll see you later.
Alright, bye, Mom. I'll be out there.
Love you too, Mom.
Hang out. We'll say goodbye to everybody. Alrighty. That was a fun little
Alright.
moment with Mom. Moments with Mom. That's what we're gonna name the sections where Mom comes into the stream. Have moments with Mom. We'll make a whole montage of Mom moments.
Wow.
It's funny the way some people like act when you get in front of the camera. I'm so comfortable in front of the camera. I really take it for granted. Like I really do, because it is definitely different. Because everybody, like, I can just see Mom starting to be a little different. Like she's still herself, but she started just going off like on some kind of like storytelling thing. I appreciate that. She's a performer. You know, she's ready to tell a story. She was ready to provide content, basically. You know, Mom was ready to be like, all right, I'm on camera now. Let's see, what can I do? You know, I'm going to tell you a story. You know, I'm going to open up. Like, you know what I mean? I appreciate that. I'm like, that's where we get it from, you know? Oh, there's Tom Bell. He's asleep right now, though, right?
Yeah, this is just
I
here.
have-
Well, shit, he looks wide awake, bro. You better get him to bed.
No, yeah, that
There
was
he is, passed out in the bed the
Mm.
day that you brought him in. I took a picture of him
Aw.
in their bed.
sleepy boy.
In their here.
Most wholesome stream of 2024. Let's go. Put this down here so everybody can see this better. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. I'm not playing the game anymore. What is this? Your homework?
This is the main central vertical flow Shinjinjutsu.
Oh, is this some Naruto stuff, bro?
It's like your chakras. And then here's your get rid of worry fast.
Oh, I keep on forgetting about the pie.
So you hold one finger, the right hand, the top of the head. Left finger is placed between the eyebrows, tip of the nose.
I used to do this as a
Front of the
kid, bro. I
neck.
used to put my finger here and I could feel my finger without even touching my
the
head.
breastbone. So
But now I can't
There's
feel
8
the pressure
steps.
no more. I used to be able to feel the pressure. I can kind of see the light differential. 'Cause there's like it's creating a shade.
Going up to the circus.
oh no, yeah, we went to the circus.
I
the
can't
other day.
feel it anymore, bro. I used to be able to feel it when I was a kid.
Of this
So the-
car.
To harmonize negative attitudes, hold appropriate finger for any length of time while consciously exhaling. Hold the fingers on the left hand to harmonize the energies of the past. Hold the fingers on the right hand to harmonize the energies of the
Batman
present.
said, "I'll snap. We're in anatomy class." Yo, literally, he's got
Oh,
a
shit.
textbook out talking about jutsus, like Naruto type jutsus, except
just-
not
Just
trying to
taped to my wall.
create anything fantastic, just trying to harmonize
This
the
is my
chakras
dresser.
in real life.
Yeah, this is my wife drew me.
Oh, that's my grandparents when they were kids. That's my grandpa when he was a kid. That's my grandma when she was a teenager. That's my grandparents when they were together. Respect. There's my grandpa in the Navy.
We got the Kabbalah over here. Got my all my books. We got the Quran, and we got the Gospel according to Luke. Speaking of Luke, shouts out to my dog Luke.
Shout out to Luke.
We got the stash of some chips. over here
Ooh,
and some
spicy
nuts,
dill
so
pickle chips, bro. They're just putting
it's a
all the
pretty cool
flavors together.
statue.
They're putting spicy with pickles, with lime, with pepper.
Check
You know what
this
I'm saying?
out, bro.
Why not add some cheese? It's the everything
Yeah, I
chip.
know.
That actually sounds like a good chip, everything I just said.
You have to
Oh, yo,
keep
my
alive,
necklace
bro.
broke. My mom got me another one, or she had another one she let me use. But yo, these necklaces, bro, don't break them. They're like $500. I didn't even know. I didn't even realize.
Oh, really?
And these Matakias are like $200 or $300 or something. I didn't even appreciate. I'm like, what? You didn't tell me you got us. They're that expensive. I'm like, I don't want to wear this now. I don't want to break it. I didn't realize. Yeah, the dog jumped up and broke it off. So yeah, I got this
Oh,
new
man.
chain now. It's like a wider loop, shiny gold, blinging it out. Humble flex. Much love, boys. Much love, fat man. Yo, bro, I gotta get to bed, bro.
Much
4
love,
a.m.
brother.
comes early. Then I'll hop off of
Me
here.
too,
But
brother.
it's been a pleasure. Appreciate you chilling with
Hare
me,
Krishna.
talking with me while I'm gaming. Thanks to everybody hanging out on YouTube and Twitch. See you
Yeah,
on tomorrow.
man. Thanks for
Me and
everybody
Tom are gonna
being
play
here.
some Fortnite. Luke, if you want to jump in with us, make sure it's updated. It's fun. There's like vehicle
Fort.
warfare and like big like robot boxing gloves where you can beat up cars. It's pretty fun. All right, brother. Much
Yeah.
love, man. Have a good day tomorrow. I'll holler at you.
Much love, everybody. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Said you
bro,
gotta
God
go.
bless.
I said namaste.
I'm gonna
God
stay,
bless,
brother.
brother.
All right, y'all. Peace out. Until next.